Sponsored by the Big 98, Nashville's #1 for new country and the home of the Bobby Bones Show.
The Rock Review is thrilled to have a gentleman on the show that has won the Best Rock Bass Player 5 times and is in the Gallery of Greats. He's played with so many incredible bands and is one of the best-known bass players, I think, in the world. Billy Sheehan, thanks for coming on the show.
It's my pleasure, and thank you for your kind words.
Yeah, it's all true. You know, last time you and I caught up, you guys, you were coming through Nashville doing a Mr. Big tour, and you had Paul Gilbert with you. And it was so much fun hanging out with you guys in the studio and just, talking about the great things that you did as a founder of Mr. Big and all those songs that you guys performed.
Well, it was quite a band. We had incredible success with the band, especially internationally, which worked out really nice for us because right around the mid-'90s, the world went grunge. Well, the U.S. and Europe kind of went grunge, but everywhere else it did. So South America, Southeast Asia, and all those places, we could still sell out shows and do really well. So we had a great run. The band still exists, but as you know, sadly, we lost our drummer, and
right.
we don't have any plan at this point for anything. We'll just let nature take its course at some point. Maybe we'll do something again. We don't know. Maybe me and Paul, maybe me and Eric, maybe Eric and Paul, maybe us with a different drummer. Could be anything, but we have not discussed it at all, and we're just kind of letting it go. It was really, it was tough for us to, we were really, the 4 component parts had to be there in order for it to be this big. So but we appreciate, I still get a lot of email every day regarding Mr. Big and our songs, and some amazing emails from people that, you begin to realize how you touch people around the world. You know, some little girl in Pakistan is having a hard time and listen to our music, and now everything's okay again, and pretty amazing.
Well, and it's incredible to me because you're like a magnet for amazing guitarists, and even talking back in your Talas days and, going over prepping for the show, since we just get to focus on you only this time, Billy, but, your time with Talas, when you played, and you guys opened up for Van Halen for 30 shows then. And what was that like being around, the Van Halen camp back then?
It was like getting a PhD in Showbiz 101. It was amazing. They were like a machine. They were like it's like the military. They got in and they nailed it. And every night, at their worst night of all those shows, they were only spectacular. A bad night, that was as bad as it got. And they were just great, just a great bunch of people, and very kind to us. And that's how I made the initial contact with Eddie, and then later and Dave as well, and which eventually led to me getting the Eat 'Em and Smile gig, and several other near misses we had working together. So that was incredible. Well, we actually got the gig. You might find the story a little interesting due to more recent events. We had a manager in Buffalo, and his name was Harvey, and it was Harvey and Corky Productions. Harvey and Corky, 2 guys in Buffalo. And they were the biggest guys in the music biz in Buffalo. So as Talas rose up, we couldn't go any further in Buffalo. So they, by default, became our managers because they were the biggest people in the music biz in Buffalo. So they were the promoters who brought in all the big bands, Van Halen, The Who, Zeppelin, everybody. They did everybody. So we got to open up for a bunch of bands out of necessity a few times in Buffalo, which helped us a lot too. That's how I got the Michael Schenker and the later UFO gig, because Dallas for UFO at one point while Michael was in it. So years go by. I'll cut to the punchline. That's Harvey Weinstein.
Oh my gosh!
He was our manager.
You're kidding me. That I've heard of the Harvey and Corky thing, but it's like I didn't know it was Harvey.
Yeah, it was
Harvey.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, and once again, too, and you are constantly working with different musicians and different projects. I've really, I got to tell you, on my playlist when I go to the gym, I do have a number of cuts from the Winery Dogs. And then when I watch your videos to where you're just ripping on that bass because you have innovated so many styles with your chording and with, the scallop neck on your bass. But you and Richie and Mike, you guys are like all synced together.
I love that band. I love those 2 gentlemen, and they're 2 of the finest musicians I've ever known or worked with. And of my big 3 records is Eat 'Em and Smile, Mr. Big Lean Into It, and the first Winery Dogs record.
Yeah.
Of all the records I've done, those are the big. If I had to play somebody something to try to illustrate my point, it would be something from those 3 records for sure. But we hope to be writing some songs very soon.
Well, you know, last time I talked to Richie, he raved about you as well and was just talking about how much fun it is to play music with you. But once again, watching you play, Billy, it's just, you know, I'm a guitarist that plays at bass. You are just totally bass and you own it. And the way you work all the way up the neck is just crazy.
Well, again, very, very kind of you to say. I've been playing now over 50 years. And I'm glad I'm as old as I am because I came up through a lot of different styles of music. And played in a copy band for decades. And that's the greatest training in the world. Van Halen was a copy band. AC/DC was a copy band. You know, the Beatles were a copy band. All that you learn so much by playing in clubs, playing other people's material. And so I'm thankful for those early days where I got to play every kind of music, from prog to Southern rock to Crosby, Stills and Nash, a lot of vocal songs. Three Dog Night, Crosby, Stills and Nash, Grand Funk Railroad, all that stuff. We did a lot of jamming things, Robin Trower, and then almost a couple jazzy things. So I touched on a lot of different styles. And as probably is the case with yourself and anyone watching this that's a musician, that stuff starts to get into your DNA after a while. Mm-hmm. Gives you your style. Sometimes the young players will ask, well, how do I have a style? And I go, I don't know. I never pursued a style. I just played song after song after song, night after night after night after night, year after year, until eventually, oh, what do you know? I guess there's some semblance of a style there. And that's kind of how it happens with everybody. Same way as a lot of people, how do I get my tone? Right. I don't know. Just play. And your tone will happen, and your style will happen. Those are things I think to pursue them is it's like asking me, how do I be funny?
Yeah.
You can't. You got to live life and be able to tell an amazing story, and that's how you're funny.
Well, you know, and I find it so interesting also that I can't believe 30 years with Yamaha, with the Attitude bass that you worked with them, and the 30th anniversary, I know that only 30 of these basses are available, and it was designed off of the wife. Yeah,
both of them are back on the. That's the wife next to the tiny bass. Then the wife's sister, and then the 30-year anniversary, the 3 Sunburst instruments there, just in between the 2 red instruments, the small and the large. So I have them on hand and within arm's reach at all times. I'm here in my studio.
You know, and it's so incredible too, Billy, to where you helped bring in so many unique features on this. And I know, you know, with the Sunburst finish, you've got the scallop neck on it, which you like, but also, you know, a big thing for you, besides the DiMarzio pickups, you know, the last time you and I got together, you were really innovative in suggesting they put more secure neck in how the neck is held to the body.
Yeah, we all love Fender, and Fender is the amazing company that we love. But for me, because I do some things where I do a vibrato by pushing.
Right.
And it got that from Pete Townsend, by the way, for seeing The Who in 1974 with Keith Moon on drums, original lineup. But when I did that, the neck would shift in the socket on the Fenders. And Fenders are great basses, and this is no disparagement, because 99.99999% of people aren't going to do this nonsense anyway, so it's no worry. But for me, I really wanted that a little bit more solid, and Yamaha came up with a brilliant way of doing it. And now they've even improved upon it. Version 1 had a piece of metal in there to connect the neck to body in a really solid way.
Like a pinion.
Version 2, they did it all wood. Version 3, now they have 2 screws that go in at this angle.
Yeah.
Grab the neck and pull it on the socket. So it's oddly, I read something where they compared neck through body to bolt-on neck to see which one sustained more. And counterintuitively, the bolt-ons sustain more. I don't know.
I read that same article.
Yeah, so I'm glad you know what I'm talking about then.
Yeah.
They're just, Yamaha did such a great job on all these basses. That's all I play, all I want to play, and it puts me in a bad negotiating situation with Yamaha because they know I'm not going to leave.
The last time I was at the Winter NAMM, and you're always involved with Yamaha, and they always have your basses on display. And it's been such a great partnership over the years with you.
Yeah, I think they're a great company. The quality control, second to none. I've been to the factory in Hamamatsu, Japan, which is kind of like Yamaha City. It's giant factories because they make all kinds of stuff. I mean, from motorcycles and engines and to grand pianos and archery gear and watercraft and you name it. Quite an amazing and diverse company, and all that technology that goes into all their products is kind of available to all of their divisions. And so they've got some pretty amazing, incredible innovations. And you could literally serve food right on the floor and eat off it. It's so clean and perfect in that factory.
I want to make sure our viewers know the best for website, for social media, and everything else. Where should they follow you to keep up with the new music releases and all the other great things you got going?
Well, I've got my Facebook personal page, my Facebook band page, and both of them have a little blue check mark verified that it's me. I think I had to send my driver's license in to prove that it was me. That's cool. And a Twitter account is verified, and my Instagram account is verified. Billy Sheehan on bass, I believe is what it is. So if you find it and write to me, just so that everyone knows, I read everything myself. A lot of people, is this Billy for real? Yes, it is. I'm here. You're writing to me. They would say, "Well, I wish that he would." No, that's me. That's not he. It's me. Yeah. I'm here. So I get all of my messages, comments, and email, and I respond to all of them. Now, I can't necessarily write long responses to something. Sometimes it's just a good old thumbs up or thank you very much or whatever. But I get it and I read it, and I'm happy to be connected. It's actually great to be connected to so many people around the world. It's kind of, I have my thumb on the pulse of what's going on, and it works out very well for me to understand what the audience is thinking, what they like, what people are into, what they're not. And I have a lot of incredible, great, wonderful friends all over the world, like Indonesia and Pakistan and Japan and Brazil and Chile and Argentina and Germany and Scandinavia, Russia, Mongolia, China, you name it. I get email. I think I've gotten email from every country in the world at some point or another. So you are an international bass player of mystery. And I want to tell you again, congratulations on the 30th anniversary of your Yamaha Attitude bass. Can't wait to hear the new music you're coming out with. Billy Sheehan, thank you so much for joining the Rock Interview. My pleasure. I will see you very soon again, I'm sure.
Sponsored by the Big 98, Nashville's #1 for new country and the home of the Bobby Bones Show.